Hey guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joy. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 21. I'm your host, Phebe Joy, and hey, welcome. I am so glad that you are here, so glad you're listening and tuning in. And if you had a chance to catch the title of the episode, then you know this is the book episode. This is the episode where I get to bring my sister and share her with you. And it's funny because I was thinking, I actually don't look at book titles of any of my podcasts that I listen to, or book titles, episode titles of the podcast that I listen to. I just jump right in and just listen to them. So it's kind of funny. You may not have caught that this is the book episode, but this is the one. And I'm very excited to bring this to you. I'm very excited to bring my sister to you. She's my older sister. She's an introvert. She's neat and meticulous in the things that she does and organized. And she loves books and she loves drawing and she loves writing and she is great at puzzles. She's amazing. And while we don't get into all of that this time around, we do definitely go hard on books. I wanted to pick an area that I knew she would enjoy talking about, that she would get excited talking about. For those of you who know my sister, you know she is, a pretty quiet person who keeps to herself most of the time. But if you get her on a topic that she's interested in, she does have things to say. And so I'm very excited that I get to bring her to you and share her with you. So sit back, relax, or whatever it is that you're doing, and just feel free to just tune into this conversation that my sister and I had. If you're into books, if it's like your thing, your niche. Look, you guys, I don't know how to say that word. Your niche, your niche. I think you can say both. Your niche. Anyway, if it is your thing, then yeah, maybe you'll have some. Maybe we might have some suggestions that you might enjoy, but really we just talk about the books that have interested us, or books from when we were younger, books that were part of our childhood to teenage times to adulthood, from fiction books to even some nonfiction. I know my sister, she's definitely more into fiction books, and I love my fiction books, so we go a little harder on that than we do on the nonfiction type books. But I hope that regardless, you still totally enjoy this episode. I know it was really fun to record. So yeah, without further ado, here is the book episode with my sister Bethany and me. All right, here we are with my sister Bethany. This is our second, third type of introduction, trying to do this thing. We've been practicing and having some difficulties here and there, but here we are. We'll see if this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one. All right, so hi Beth.
Hi Phoebes.
So this part of I guess of our discussion, it's going to be a little different than from what I did with mom and dad. With them, I kind of talked about their lives and things like that. And I can do that with my sister too. But our biggest focus is going to be on books. And I say that because when I think of my sister, I also think of books, because that's just a huge part of her life. If there was a book nerd, that would be my sister. If there was a book, aficionado, that would be my sister.
No, I don't think so. Specific genre book.
That's probably true. She likes her genres, but when she likes her books, she likes her books. Okay, so we're gonna just talk about some of these books, and what's cool is that, unlike my conversations with mom and dad, that were pretty direct information about their lives, when learning about the type of books that my sister likes, you're going to learn a little bit about my sister through that. So it's kind of a roundabout way for you to get to know my sister and for me to share my sister with you through her books. So yeah. Okay. So I guess, I don't know if I want to start with, what's your favorite book? I know that's hard because you like a lot of books. What would be a good place to start?
Okay, not the favorite.
Okay.
I cannot choose a favorite. I've got 50 favorites. Mm-hmm. According to my favorite shelf on Goodreads. Okay, no, actually 38. Okay, let's go. 38 official favorites on my favorite shelf.
Okay. from your favorite shelf on Goodreads, plug in for Goodreads, what would be your top 5?
Top 5.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me scroll through here.
Okay. While she's looking through her top 5, I'm trying to think about my top 5 favorite books as well. And it's hard because I told her, I was like, we might want to think about genres. We could do genres and pick like our favorite book within the genre. Maybe.
No.
Just in general?
Just
okay,
in
you've
general.
got your general. Do you know your general?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, I put the entire series of the Chronicles of Narnia as my favorite. So I'm not choosing any one of those.
Now, look, I'm glad you're mentioning that because, okay, if you've been listening to podcasts, which my sister does, then you know I've been listening to the radio dramas of the Chronicles of Narnia, and my sister is my resource for that. She's the one who had that available for me. But I do have to say, within those, I do have a favorite one.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite is the Silver Chair, I think.
Actually, that's one of my top ones.
See? Yeah. I mean,
that
the whole
one's a lot
series
of
is
fun.
good.
My least favorite is The Last Battle. I guess.
Okay.
The Silver Chair is one of the top, and then of course the classic, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I did enjoy the adaptations for the movies. Normally, I do not like movie adaptations.
Right.
I usually prefer the book. Very few instances where I prefer the movie where they're equal, and this is one of the few one where I think they're pretty equal.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I did the book or the movie adaptations of it were pretty good. Which I think was there just one?
There were 3. They did.
No, I mean like was there just like one? Have they ever tried to make it a movie before? Did they make it a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's one thing. I was like, I know there's been other. There was the cartoon version, which I can barely remember.
Yeah, and then I did
And
like
then
a BBC version way back when.
Okay.
And then the most recent, I guess, in the 2000s.
Yeah. Which I think they're actually doing another one.
I thought it was a Netflix series.
Maybe a Netflix series. Yeah. But the movies were good.
They were. I
They
think.
were. If I remember, they were.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed they stopped. Like, why do they always stop before they get to the Silver Chair? I'm like, really?
I know that's the one I want to see. That's the good one.
That's the one I was waiting for, and then everything stopped.
When did they stop? Voyage of the Dawn Treader?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just like saying the name of that. I think I just like saying the name of it. I'm always like, is it the Voyage of the Dawn Treader? Was that the one? Which that one's not my favorite one, but I think that is my top 3 of the Chronicles of Narnia. I do like the Silver Chair, the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and I liked the Horse and His Boy.
It was fine. It was fine.
So okay, that's that group, that series is in your top.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then so we'll count that as one, and then another one. These are in no particular order of favorites. These are just my top favorites. Behold Your Queen by Gladys Melbourne is because it's one of my favorite retellings of the Book of Esther, which is my favorite Bible book. Mm-hmm. All right.
Behold Your Queen. I remember that. That's the one you bought an expensive version of it.
Yes, and then they reprinted it, and now it's really cheap, so I'm really mad about that.
Yeah, I remember you were like, they don't have it anymore, and then you bought an expensive... Did you buy it off eBay or something?
No, it was one of those... I had to specifically find it, because at the time it was out of print, so I had to go to a specific book site to find an out-of-print book. And at the time, I didn't have, like, a really good job, so it took me a while to save up for it. And then I got it, because... You know, so if it comes to a book, I will go for a book sometimes, depending. And then I bought it, and then a couple years ago, I found it again, and it was cheap. I was just like, the pain I went through.
Right. No, I bet yours has more value, though, in some way.
Yes, it has the original cover.
See, there you go. Oh, did you bring it?
I brought it.
Okay. So you guys, you can't see this because this is not a video podcast at this point, but we have stacks of books around us, and she does have the book. And it does kind of look like an old school printed book. Yeah. Behold Your Queen. If you look on the inside, it was $3.95. How old is this book? When's the...
You got to find the copyright page.
Yeah. Let's see. 1951. No, yeah, 1951. Looks like first edition, September of 1951. That's cool. All right. So that adaptation of Esther.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then This is one of my rare nonfiction, because I am not a nonfiction reader.
That's true.
But Atlas Obscura, An Explorer's Guide to the World's Hidden Places. And that was
What's that called?
Atlas Obscura.
Atlas Obscura.
This one was the 2016 edition, I believe. It took me a while to finish this one, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed reading about the different places around the world, the weird museums. That was always fun.
Is it like a encyclopedia type? Like, are there pictures and things?
There were pictures, yes, but it's also like an encyclopedia. So it'll be like an entry for this particular place, and then, you read about it, and then, you get some small ones, and you get some really involved ones. So.
Okay, that does sound interesting. Like historical places or places like nowadays?
Both.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But it's been a while since I read that one, and I don't know if it was like it was actually recommended to me by someone else. Cool. So I don't always take book recommendations. I know, as somebody, I'm like, but I have like my to-read list. It's very long, so like I will add it to my to-read list, and whether or not I get it to it, it's
right. That all depends.
Story.
Yes, right. Which this is, I mean, the books that we are throwing out there, these are books that we love based on our own opinions, but they might be good. Like if it seems like something interesting for you, you might want to find it, maybe in your library or something. Or maybe if you're like, oh, I think I have a friend who'd like that, you could always throw it out to them, But yeah. Okay, so you've got the 3. We have 3.
That was 3? Uh-huh. Okay, I need 2 more?
Uh-huh.
Okay, hang on. Okay, this one, Fairy Godmothers, Inc. I adore fairy tales.
You do.
I don't know why. I go back and I read the original, but then I very much enjoy how someone can take that original and just change it and make it so much fun. So I have a lot of fairy tale retellings on my bookshelf. And this one is one of my favorites. It's Fairy Godmothers, Inc., and it's Cinderella from the fairy godmother's point of view. And it's not just Fairy Godmother. She's part of a corporation, which is why it's called Fairy Godmothers, Inc., Incorporated. So basically, you get the behind the scenes of what the fairy godmothers do to get your fairy tale going.
Very nice.
So it was a lot of fun, and it's kind of like the corporate fairy godmothers, kind of evil. They're like, we're getting this, and this is how it's going to be. And then, of course, you got the whole inversion of the fairy godmother falls in love with the prince falls in love with the fairy godmother. Cinderella's just like, I just want to enjoy life.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So, that one, it's fun. I do enjoy going back to read it. It's been a couple years. I think this was 2013. Mm-hmm. But it was always a lot of fun. Just be like, they're like, this is how it's going to go. And they're like, no, we'll do it this way.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason.
I do like stories that are like you have your basic story, but then they switch it up on you. Like even the change of perspective. So in teaching, and I'm sure if you have kids out there, work with kids out there, then you know the book. And if you don't know the book, you do now. There's the 3 Little Pigs, but then there's the wolf side of it. What's that one called? Do you remember the name of it?
I remember the book you're talking about, but
yeah, it's the 3 Little Pigs from the wolf's perspective, and it's just funny, and it just gives a different perspective. So books like that are interesting. So I bet that would be cool to kind of see like the fairy tale from a different perspective.
Yeah, those are always fun. And in the same vein, The Wizard and the Curse Breaker, and this one is kind of like the main character just kind of goes through different fairy tales, so they're all combined, and. I find some people can do that well, some people cannot. This one was a lot of fun, and you can see they're not the main focus, but you can see the main characters, and you see the setup of the story as you go through, and then so it was a lot of fun for me to read that one.
Yeah.
So
that would be fun.
Top 5 out of the 38 on my shelf.
There you go. Top 5. If you want the rest, you'll have to have her, or either give you access to her Goodreads bookshelf. I don't even know how Goodreads work. I have a Goodreads account. Like I get the emails every week or every other day or something like that. And I get on there to see like what kind of books are out there, but I don't interact with it as much. But it's funny that you do. So because I think in my last episode I said, or a couple episodes, depends when I release this, that I didn't know how many books exactly you had read last year. And I knew it was 200 and something. Mm-hmm. So do you know that number? How many?
251.
Okay. So she read 251 books. And this includes audiobooks and books in hand and Kindle books.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes. So she's read that many books, which even including all of that, that's wild. And then, what's your goal for this year?
265.
Okay. Where are you at?
241.
Oh my gosh. All right. And so you have it, folks. Yeah, I think I've read maybe like 6 books this year, if that. If that. So how do you find the time to get through these books? Like, what's your system?
I don't have a system. I have moods. So when I'm in the mood to read, I will go through books. I just have a stack of books I will go through. Mm-hmm. If I'm not in the mood to read, I cannot get through any kind of book. And then, like, along with the moods, I have moods for a particular type of books. Mm-hmm. So, like, right now, I'm in between, so I can go whatever. But before, I was, like, in the mood for mysteries. So all I was doing was mysteries, and then suddenly decided I did not want another mystery. I am tired of mysteries, so I just stopped for a little bit until I'm like, what am I in the mood for right now? And then sometimes in those times, I will go back and reread, and I will count those as books I've read this year. Mm-hmm. So some of the books that I haven't read for a while, I will go back and like, I don't remember this one. So I did. I found the book, and I was like, I found this, like, the sequel, and I'm like, I don't remember reading the sequel. And then I'm like, well, I had to go back to read the first book, because obviously I got to read the first one to find out so I can go read the sequel. Turns out I had actually read the sequel. And I was just like, I don't remember this book at all. And then I went to Goodreads. This is why it's a good resource for me, because if I remember to log it, and then I sometimes, do you remember back in school when you had to write a book report? Mm-hmm. And I hated writing book reports. Mm-hmm. I do this on my free time now, book reviews. I'm like, come to think about it, a book review is just a book report. And I looked back, and I was just like, yeah, this wasn't a good book.
Oh, no. Wasn't a good book.
So I'm like, whoops. That explains why I didn't remember the book. But I get real excited when new books are out.
Yeah. Which
also affects my mood. So a new book I've been waiting for a while. Hasn't come out yet. So I'm like, I don't want to read anything else until I get that book. So I was kind of slowed down, and I'm like, when is it coming out?
Yes. So when does it come out?
Next year.
Oh, well, then yeah, you're going to have to read those 20 books before next year.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah, that's funny that you said, like, based on your mood, because that's like me in music. Like, I listen to music based on my mood, like the type of music. I'm like, oh, I'm really feeling this type of music. It fits my mood, so I'll just jam with that for a while. But you got your books to fit your moods. And so, yeah, that's fun. Well, yay. Okay. So, of the books you've given, so that's your top 5, just general genre. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to go ahead and get into specific genres and recommendations or just opinions about different ones. Now, we probably won't touch every genre. Like, if there's a certain type of genre that you like out there, whoever's listening, we may not get to it, but we might. So, hang tight. We're going to get through them. I think we're going to start with, let's start with kids, because that might be a quick, easy one to get through. So, kids' books. I know. Well, this is for you with children out there, or if you work with kids, or even just some nostalgia, if you remember some books when you were younger that you read. So, kid books. So, we'll say before, we can even include some preteen in there. So, kid to preteen age books. And I'll go ahead and start with one of my favorite kids' books that I want to have one day and read to my child is the Wonky Donkey. And if you haven't found that book or read that book or had that book, have you listened to that book being read? It is the cutest, funniest, randomest book ever, but I like it. And then there's a second one called The Dinky Donkey, which is based off the donkey's daughter, and it's just cute. I just like the play on words that both of those books have. So that is my kind of like my kid book that I really like. And of course the Three Little Pigs one from the Wolf's perspective is also a really good kids book as well. So you got any kid book suggestions? I know I work around kids more, but
hang on, I'm trying to condense my list.
Oh, so she does. It's not that she doesn't. It's just within all of those that she does.
Yes, I do. I still read kids books. I find them as, I work in the library, and it is a great resource. And sometimes as I'm checking in books, I'm like, kids book. and I've got like 5 minutes, so I will read a kid's book in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I will say I enjoy the picture books. I get sad as you get older. For some reason, they stop doing as much pictures. So for some of the picture books, I liked Imagine a Day by Sarah L. Thompson. And it was just such unique pictures. You know how you take a picture and then you see the image just shift into something else, but it makes so much sense. Like you got stairs coming like, I don't know, a building or something. So that's pretty much that entire book. And it was just so much fun to, here's the cover. So you see the stairs going up to the cliff, and you got the sandcastle, and then you got clouds in the background. So I enjoy landscapes.
Yeah.
So anything that like brings that in. So that one's a lot of fun. And then I like the ology books. I don't know the official
Ology?
Yes. So you got oceanology, piratology, stuff like that.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen the pirate one.
Yeah, but mostly because it just amuses me to open up the different stuff in there.
Yeah.
So you open a page and it's like, oh, look, there's a letter. So you take the letter out, you look at the letter.
Yeah, it's got the different like, interactive stuff with it. Oh, I do like those books.
I do enjoy it's not a good for a library book because, you lose pieces. But if it's just for you, it's a lot of fun. Let me see. I'll give you 2 more and I'll be done. Where was it? I liked the, this is a fairy tale, Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters.
Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters.
Yes. That one's like the African version, and it's such a...
Of Cinderella?
It's Cinderella. Kind of Cinderella.
Kind.
I feel like more Beauty and the Beast, actually. There's a huge...
I could see that. I think we taught like an African version of Cinderella because she's got her sister, who's kind of like the evil sisters, and she ends up getting the prince. But I could see that as well.
Because, he turns into a snake at one point.
He does. So. Yeah. But she ain't kidnapped or nothing.
No, but he was just... I know, but I'm like, I guess if you see the animal, there is like a genre, if you actually look it up, there's a fairy tale catalog, and I can't keep them all straight, but depending on the elements of the fairy tale is how they catalog the fairy tale.
Another book, I don't know if you've read it, it's kind of long, it's like Cinderella, it is it's a Native American version, what's it called? The Rough-Faced Girl.
Oh, I love that's on my list too.
Yeah,
yes, I enjoyed that one.
The kids love that one. If you have somebody 2nd grade, 7, 8-year-old, that's a really good one too.
I enjoyed it. So one of these days I'm gonna buy those 2. They're on my to buy list. Okay, and then this one The Plant That Ate Dirty Socks. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. So preteenish, The Plant That Ate Dirty Socks. I haven't thought about that in years. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I don't think I've ever read it, but I remember listening to the story.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
That audiobook. So The Plant That Ate Dirt. So speaking of audiobooks, so these are the preteen, we're kind of shifting towards preteen ones. The Plant That Ate Dirty Socks. The Farthest Away Mountain.
Yes. Henry Banks. Loved it. Indian in the Cupboard.
Indian in the Cupboard. The Fairy Rebel.
Yes.
I remember that one. Which author was that?
Lynn Reed.
Lynn Reed, of course. And then, let's see, I think those were the ones that we listened to the most. I feel like I remember.
Yeah, we listened to the most, yes.
And then, or did I already say The Cat Who Wished to Be a Man?
You did not.
The Cat Who Wished to Be a Man. Yeah. That's funny. And there's one more. Which one was it? Was it the
Mouse on the Motorcycle?
The Mouse on the Motorcycle was good. Which one was it? Was it The Plant That Ate Dirty Socks that had, wasn't there a little alien thing? Alien ate my homework, or
was it?
What was that
I was
one?
a 6th grade alien.
I was a 6th grade. I think it was that one. That
Bruce
series.
Coble. I remember the author.
Yes,
Bruce Coble.
Yes.
Okay.
Bruce Coble. Yeah. So those are fun to listen to, and those are great preteens. And of course, for preteen girls, every girl had to read at least I did multiple times. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Didn't like that book, actually.
I know, but I loved it. I
like that one.
I liked it, and I know there's a movie out. I haven't seen it or anything, but I read that book over and over. That was my little coming of age book.
No, I heard it once. It was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't need to do anymore.
Oh, and then the Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing. That's whole series.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, I didn't read it, but my 4th grade teacher, she read it to us. And I just liked her reading the books to us. So that was always fun.
Yeah, which, y'all, don't sleep on an adult reading books to kids. That's so powerful. It's so that can really instill a love for reading, because adults can do the different voices and like show the how it's supposed to be read and things like that. So I remember that because we had the same teacher in fourth grade until we moved, but she was reading it and I liked the way she read it. She made it with fudgy. That was good. That was a good little series.
It was fun.
Yay for the preteen kid books. Okay, so then let's think about teen and young adult. Which that's kind of a challenging, I guess, kind of genre, because for me, I feel like I went straight from preteen to more adult type books, more than young adult books, maybe. But I did read stuff like The Babysitter's Club and Girl Talk. I remember reading Girl Talk.
I read Girl Talk. Didn't like Babysitter's Club.
Yeah, I liked Girl Talk more than Babysitter's Club, but I did read them both.
Yeah, because I tried reading The Babysitter Club, just went to Girl Talk after that. And then I think at that point I was reading Animorphs.
Animorphs, okay. So, yep, I remember Animorphs.
And then Julie of the Wolves and Julie's Wolf Pack. I like those three.
I remember Artemis Fowl. I read that series for a little bit.
I did, and then I got bored, so I stopped.
I did. Well, maybe because we got older.
Maybe.
Maybe it was like perfect for like 12, 13, and then we got a little older. I also liked, what was it? So I was thinking, of course, because the whole Nancy Drew Hardy Boys. I didn't prefer Nancy Drew, but I did really like the Hardy Boys.
I didn't like either. I read the Boxcar Children.
Which the Boxcar Children was
and
good
the Bobbsey Twins.
Yes. Both of those were fun. The Bobbsey Twins, I was like, that's okay. But I did like the Boxcar Children. And I liked the one with the twin girls that were blind.
Sweet Valley Kids?
Sweet Valley, yeah. Sweet Valley Kids, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley University. I remember reading all those.
I think I read some. I think I remember the kids more than the others, but I don't. Yeah. I do think I read some of them.
Man, okay. Look, y'all, memories unlocked. If you are a millennial right now, you're like, oh, yes. I remember these.
Oh, yeah, The Wayside School is Falling Down. I don't think that was young adult. I think that was more kids.
Yeah, that'd be more preteen. But that was fun. I do remember that. And listening to that one. Which, how can I not do the part where she was like, the teacher, well, answer me. Did I just tell you to shut up? Yes. But did I just say, you couldn't respond, but then answer me. Did I just say it? Anyway, I know I should say shut up on the podcast, but alas, it was in the book and it was hilarious. And then the Joy, I remember her song. Wayside School is falling down, falling down, falling down.
Yeah, I
Wayside
remember.
School is falling down. I guess my fear letting kids go splat when they hit the ground, which is terrible. It's terrible, I know. Trigger warning. But that book was funny. That was, I guess, the epitome of sarcasm and irony in a book. But that was a good book. Who was the author of that one?
Louis Satcher.
Louis Satcher. Yep.
Yeah. And then, do you remember The Castle in the Attic?
The Castle in the Attic?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Tell me more about it.
Remember, it was, I think we most listened to it, but it was, you had Omri, and he had inherited a castle, and they left it in the attic, and he went upstairs, and it turned out the knight that came with the castle came alive. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing, he had to cross the drawbridge, and then he was transported to the world of the castle, and they had to defeat the evil wizard to free the castle and the knight. That. And then there was a sequel, The Battle for the Castle, where he went back, and there's like a bunch of rats that were invading the castle. I remember that too.
I think I do remember that. I don't remember a lot of detail, but I do remember that story. Wow, that's crazy. Man, okay, so do you have any specific young adult or teen to young adult books?
Would the Black Stallion count? Or is that still kids?
It could count. I never read it.
That was one of my favorite series when I started growing up.
I do remember, because you like horses.
I do.
Mm-hmm. You still like horses. Loves horses. The Black Stallion.
I think I went from kids to basically adult.
I know, that's what it feels like. Like, that transition's kind of, I feel like I went from, like, I didn't read a lot of young adult, other than the ones that I guess we mentioned. Like, those could be considered young adult, I guess. Well, all right, so entering into then the adult genres. Which, I mean, when it comes to books, it's kind of similar to movies and things. You gotta be careful as far as if you're trying to, like, watch content, language, what's being in a book. I think it's a little easier to skip pages than maybe in a movie, but you still, it kind of depends.
Yes, yeah.
So now I have, into my adult life, I have a lot of books that I've read. And I'm definitely not going to mention them all here. But I've gotten more into the nonfiction self-help books than my fiction. But I still love my fiction. But, and we're going to get into those. But let's start with, what genre of fiction do you think would be good? I see this stack of books here. What books you want to talk about? Y'all should see this stack. I think I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram or something.
No, it's not a pretty stack. You should have told me you wanted to pick pictures. I would have brought better books. Let's see. Let's talk about LMNOP, just because it amused me so much. Mm-hmm. It's a novel in letters, which I don't always read. I can't remember the official term for it, but the whole premise of this one was the fact that you lose letters as you go. Mm-hmm. So by the end of the book, you're down to, I think, just one letter.
Wow.
The
That's
author
cool.
was so clever. As you first start, you losing the letters one by one, but you don't really pay attention until you start losing, I guess, the vowels and everything and all the words get shorter and shorter. And I think after I read the book, I started using really long words for a little bit, just because I was like, I should probably expand my vocabulary.
That's fun.
But it was a lot of fun.
That does seem like fun.
And I liked the whole, it's just like, it's one of the few books that I read for the letter form that just amused me all the way through. I usually don't like a book in letters.
I do like books and letters sometimes, really. And for those who are curious, so the title is Ella Minnow P, but like Ella, the name as in a female, minnow like the fish, and then P like two peas in a pod. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, I kind of want to look at that too. All right, what else we got?
The Saturday Night Supper Club.
Mm-hmm.
Carla, I cannot pronounce her last name, and I don't want to butcher it, so...
Yeah, Loreno. But anyway, The Saturday Night Supper Club. What type of book is this? It looks like a mystery.
No.
No, it's not. Okay.
That one, I think was the first one I read for that author, and it kind of got me because it just showed how fast social media could affect your life. So the basic premise was... the main character got fired from her job because of something that got around out of context on social media. And then, of course, you know how fast some like what you intend can get completely misconstrued. And basically, it was her journey to come back from that and open. And it was kind of like the way the Lord did it. He's like, well, this could be for, people intended for bad, but it became for good. So she ended up opening her own restaurant after her friends were like, well, let's, cause she started a club. She's like, let me just cook for my friends. And this is why it's like the Saturday Night Supper Club, because on Saturday night she cooked them supper, and they're like, you should, make this a business. So, and then she was familiar with it because she worked in the restaurant industry at first. So I just liked the unique way, it just like, you just become aware of social media. And then it's just the first of the trilogy, so she's got two more.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Trilogies are always fun and nice. Oh.
This one we read in the book club.
Okay, we do have lots of book club books here. At least I do, and that's fun that you brought that one over.
Yes. To Win Her Heart. I read this one for fluff because I don't have to think about anything when I read this book. It's Karen Whitemeyer is a lot of fun for me because I don't have it's not a deep book.
That's true. And when we read it, I mean, it was fun to read. It was it was lighthearted. It's a Christian romance. Sorry, y'all almost dropped this book. It's a Christian romance, but it was cute. Like it was cute. It was fun.
I enjoy her books. They're a lot of
Very
fun.
lighthearted. Karen Whitemeyer. Mm-hmm.
This one I would, I guess, class more like suspense.
Okay.
This is Mind Games by Nancy Mehl. Mehl. Mm-hmm. She's a Christian writer. She's got a lot more books, but I find I have to have a particular mood for her. Okay. This one is, I do enjoy the police procedurals. I like, the police TV shows, and then the books. And it's easier for the books to find a Christian author, so I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff.
Right.
So this one is the FBI behavioral analysis. So And this one is Kaylee Quinn, and basically they got to profile the serial killer that's killing people.
Well, yep. Serial killer.
Basically, and of course they have so they're like, as a unalive people, they're leaving poems, to taunt the FBI. And I think the thing is, she's the daughter of an infamous serial killer, so part of her motivation is, prove that she's not like her father. And then, of course, she's got all their issues. So this is like a bit of a mind dive. So you got to be in the right mindset for this author. And then this is one of my favorite authors, Lynette Eason.
Yeah.
I've got most of her books. Well, I started getting most of her books. I still need to go back and get her earlier books. So this is just one of the books. I just pulled it off the shelf. I'm like, okay, just one of them. This one is Always Watching. So this one I think I would class as romantic suspense as well.
Romantic suspense. That's what I like. I see on here like a note by Colleen Coble, and I like her stuff.
Yeah, so that one is Always Watching. It's
by Lynette Eason?
Yep, and she tends to write quartets. So 4 books in that series. This one is focusing on basically a bodyguard company. And each book focuses on a different bodyguard. I never liked the first books in her series. They're always good, but they're not the best ones. But the 4th one is always my favorite. So I got to get through the first book, and then after that, it gets a lot better for me. I mean, she still writes very good, very well. And they're always engaging. But when I've tracked down, like when I'm on Goodreads, I never liked the first one as much as I like the rest of them. I think
she's got to get in her groove.
I think that's it. I think
when she's past the setup.
When she gets through each new one, is when once she knows the characters, it gets a lot better.
Yeah. And
in a similar vein, Irene Hannon, which I just started today, Into the Fire, I think this is her newest one, but I enjoy Irene Hannon as well. So this one is, I do enjoy most of her romantic suspense, but she does do some really good modern, contemporary romance as well.
Okay. So is this one, is it not like modern? Is it set like back in the day or something?
No, that's modern.
Oh, this one is. Okay.
I just, I mentally, they're 2 different things for me. So the romantic suspense, this one's modern, and then she's got her modern romances, which is more like a sweet, you don't have as much action and stuff going on, and I tend to go for the action. So, I do enjoy Irene Hannon and Lynette Eason, and then I like, if you go back, the characters all revisit. So if you really like a series, they will pop up in a different series as she does. So that's always fun.
I
remember this character.
Yeah. I like those crossovers like that. That's pretty cool. Yay. All right. So are those your fiction suggestions? Did you have more? I know you have more because I see the stack. But
yes, we can. Because I feel like these would be more like
fantasy type. A different genre. Okay, cool. All right. So before we get into that genre, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back. But we're in the process, y'all. It's Thanksgiving week, but I don't know when this will come out. This might come out. I don't think it'll be the next episode, but by the time it comes out, it might be December. That's when I'm trying to get it out. So it's Thanksgiving, just to let y'all know. But we're in the middle of cooking. So we're going to take a quick break. And you guys won't know it because it'll just be edited right into the next one. But if it sounds a little different, that's why we are taking a break here, where we're going to finish up a couple more genres. I'll get into some of my nonfiction self-help type suggestions. And we'll keep this book talk rolling. And we're back. Our tummies are full. Now I'm tired and ready for a nap. And I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm kind of ready for dessert. But we figured we'd go ahead, come back, finish our book recommendations or books we like, and then finish up the sode. So we're going to go into. We ended on, what was it? Kind of like. Remember we ended kind of like, it wasn't. It was
fiction.
It was fiction.
Fiction, then some romantic suspense.
Some romantic suspense. That's what it was.
Some general fiction, and then That's all I remember.
Yeah. So we're going to jump in and start with mystery, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go into mystery. Okay, so, sister. Because you have more book recommendations than me, my kind of mystery, I think mystery, suspense that I want to add in, I threw her name in before, was Colleen Coble.
Mm-hmm.
And really any of her books, they're kind of suspense, they're suspense, romance, mystery. She's a Christian author, but like an interesting one, because not all Christian authors are interesting ones, but she's good. And before we jump into mystery, romance, I like Lori Wick, and she was really good. I like pretty much her entire series of all of them. My favorite book of hers was called Sean Donovan.
Mine too, actually.
It was a good one.
That was a good one. That was my favorite.
Yeah. So I liked her whole series. I'm kind of like, man, I should read that again because they were good. Easy reads. I remember reading it in middle school, honestly, and I really liked it then. So not very hard to read. Good writing on her part. And those are her kind of back in the day romances, I guess. Like the early 1900s, maybe. She does have some more modern ones as well, but I think I liked her older ones better. But those are really good. So throwing out Lori Wick. I've read some of Francine Rivers. We read Redeeming Love. Is that the one? That was a good one. Trigger warning on that. There's things on there that are deep, but the writing was really good with that. So yeah. So that's for the romance. But going into mystery. All right, sis, what you got mystery-wise?
Okay, I break mystery down to two categories, mysteries and then cozies.
Say that again?
Mysteries and cozies.
Okay.
Cozies usually take place in a small town. They've got a kitschy theme, and I tend to want to yell at the protagonist for most of the book.
Is it a kitschy theme?
Yeah, so basically, it could be, the premise is either a middle-aged woman, something happens, and she will find a new niche, which is either baking, knitting,
baking,
art, stuff like that, and for some reason they assume they can solve the mysteries, and I'm usually half the time it's like, that was the stupidest thing you ever could have done. Why? So mysteries, but there are a couple good cozy series. These ones I actually found on Audible. So I prefer to listen to these if I'm, as people put on your podcasts as they do their thing. I put these on as I do my thing. So the first one is the Bunbury series. I just like the narrator, and actually the main character is a male main character.
Oh, okay.
So it was just fun, and then he's got his two sidekicks, which are older ladies. So I like their dynamic. I don't like his current love interest. So I haven't picked up the last book that came out on Audible because I just kind of I don't like them together. I don't want to listen to this.
Become invested in these stories.
I do. I like the mystery. I don't like this relationship. Let's go back. But I think I might be the odd one out for that one. And then the second one is the Cherringham series. Cherringham, Cherringham, by Matthew Costello, read by Neil Dunn. I can't remember his last name. That one's more set like in England, and that's a lot of fun. I discovered these on Audible because they're the cheapest books, and I think the Cherringham one I got for free, so that's how I started listening to that one, and then I don't know if I could go back and listen to the very first ones. Because but you know, as you grow with the series, you're just kind of like, I don't think I'd like the first book anymore. But it's still
that's your trend.
It's a trend, yeah. But it's like something I like because they're only like 2-hour-long stories to listen to.
Yeah, that's short.
So, yeah. So those are my cozies, and then I got the mysteries. Surprisingly, I've been listening to a lot of Agatha Christie. With Hercule Poirot. I only like his short stories. I can't deal with them in the full-length book. He gets on my nerves. But I do like his short stories because I feel like they wrap it up a lot quicker. And her Miss Marple. I enjoy her Miss Marple series a lot better than Hercule Poirot.
I feel like I've heard of that or her. But I don't know that I've ever read or listened to one of those books.
Yeah, I don't remember one right off the top of my head. Let's see. So like I said, I tend to listen to them.
Yeah.
For these ones instead of Nemesis is the last one I listened to from Ms. Marple, and she apparently, I think it's a character from a previous mystery that I have not read, had written her a letter and wanted her to solve another mystery, which led to her being Nemesis, or his way of doing vengeance on a person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of skipped to the end. I just wanted to find out who done it. So I was like, I don't remember the full story, but I was just like, who did it? I just want to know. So I don't always do that with my mysteries. I will sometimes, I get tired. I'm like, just tell me who did it. But then sometimes I do enjoy the whole process of finding out laying out the clues and everything. One of my oldest series, it's a manga series, Case Closed. Mm-hmm. And it gets me every time because they always leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
So I'm behind, and I'm like, I need to get the next couple books because I don't know who done it yet.
I still don't know.
So I need to find.
Case Closed is like so long. It hasn't made an ending yet. Have they?
As far as I know, there's no ending.
See, yeah.
I think it's not
after book 45. I was like, I can't do this.
I think they're a book 100. I'm at book 83.
Oh my goodness.
So no, 84. I think I just got to 84. So yeah, I want to find out. Well, I mean, the overarching story, I'm just like, okay, sooner or later he's going to find out who the Men in Black are. But then they got the mini mysteries. There's like,
right,
at least like the end of the end of a mystery from the previous book, and then you got the mystery in the middle, and then you start a new mystery, and then it cuts it off in the middle. So of course I got to get the next book to find out who done it. And I'm pretty sure he's doing this on purpose because.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, that's what keeps people buying books.
Me, yes.
Leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, I got to go back and find out who done that one. So yeah, I only recently restarted the Case Closed series. I think over the near the beginning of the year, because I'm like, oh right, because I was going through my books as I do and rearranging my shelves, and I'm like, oh my books, and then I started randomly. I picked up one and then just started reading, and then I'm like, okay, what happened next? And then I'm like, oh great, so I started buying. As I try to buy, I don't always get a chance to keep up with the series. This is why I'm behind still.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to keep up with that series.
Yes, and then I've started the Harriet Gordon mysteries, and I don't know why I picked up the book. It just looked interesting. It was something about sapphires. I like sapphires. They're blue. So,
yeah, yes, they are. Your favorite color.
Yeah, okay. Singapore Sapphire. Yeah, so it was basically a murder mystery with a lady during the suffragette era, and she's in Singapore with her brother, and they're running a school, and, okay, somebody dies. So it's more of, she teams up with the police inspector, and it turned into a really interesting mystery, which got me started. So I read that one, I read the next two, and then the fourth one, the last one in the series just came out. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I put a request in at the library. I'm still waiting.
There you go.
Okay, I'll stop there.
Okay, so those are your mystery book suggestions?
Yes. Cool.
Yeah, and I don't have much mystery book suggestions. I don't read a whole lot of mystery. I still like the romance, suspense type things. But I do like my nonfiction self-help books. So that's going to be our next section. Okay. So I know this one you're probably not as heavy in, right? I mean...
I've got maybe a couple, but...
Yeah. Well, okay. So then so these are going to be the books that I recommend for... I mean, I hate calling them self-help, but they are kind of. They're just, learning about yourself and other people and how to do things with. And I'm going to go through them quickly because I have quite a few. And a lot of them are books that we end up reading in our book club. And I haven't read through all of them. The great thing about self-help books is that a lot of times you can just read the parts that apply to you at that time. Sometimes you can read the whole book because the whole theme is applicable, but it just kind of depends. You can skip chapters if you need to. You don't necessarily have to read things in order. And so I'm going to go through, let me just go through them. So the very first one, you guys have heard at least 2 or 3 times on this podcast. and that is Listen, Love, Repeat by Karen Aman. I think that's how you say her last name, Ehman. I just like that one because it teaches you to not be self-centered and to think about other people and how to do that in a proactive way. I like this book called Keep It Shut by same woman, Karen Aman, as my Listen, Love, Repeat. And that was a good one about knowing what to say, knowing what not to say, keeping control of your mouth and things like that. Grace is Greater. This was by Kyle Idleman. And that was just a good book about just the grace of God and how to apply it. It was better than I thought. Like, I got the book and I was like, well, I'm sure it'll be great. It was voted on in the book club, but it actually ended up being really good. So those are my ones. And then my self-help section, as far as like things to help you grow, the last one I'm going to throw out there is God Has a Waiting Room by Kim Haney. And that is an amazing book for anyone who is waiting on something from the Lord, whatever it is. I mean, I think in this book, she was waiting on a house or something like that. But there's so much she learned that she wrote in this book to share to help anybody who is dealing with waiting on anything in their life. So those are the ones. Some kind of honorable mentions is Wait and See by Wendy Pope, and that was another book on waiting. And The Power of God's Names. That was a book by Tony Evans that goes through each of his names and what they mean, kind of like Elohim, Jehovah, Adonai, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Shalom, Jehovah Nisi, all of that, and kind of goes into what they mean and how it can be applied. So those are my kind of self-help type suggestion books. I don't want to call them self-help, but they do help you kind of know who you are and how to reach other people in that sense. And then one of my favorite devotional books is, of course, by my girl Joyce Meyer. It's a read it every day type book, and that was called, I think, Women for Women. Hold on, let me look. Ooh. Okay, Woman to Woman. That's what it's called. Woman to Woman, Candid Conversations from Me to You. And y'all know, I like Miss Joyce. She speaks my language. I like her personality. At least that comes out in her books. And so I do really enjoy that book from her. So yeah, those are kind of my self-help type books. Beth, you got any that cross your mind?
Self-help or just nonfiction?
Whichever route you want to go.
I can do some nonfiction then.
Okay.
I was just talking about this one earlier. Rejected Princesses, Tales of History's Boldest Heroines, and by Jason Porath. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And I discovered the website for that. And before he printed the book, and it was just basically women in history. And he did like a short blurb and had like he drew a picture depicting the women. So it was really interesting. History's not my thing, so I couldn't tell you dates or anything. So, but I remember I was like, oh, that was a really good, interesting concept. He said it just came from the thought of princesses that Disney couldn't handle because Disney was the princess company. So this was like, they couldn't do these princesses. So that was what caught my eye.
Yeah.
And then I think there's one, if I remember the title, I'd Rather Be Reading.
That's the name of the book?
That's the name of the book. Then by Anne Bogle. And that one it's basically a book for readers. I remember it was just like books. It was all about books and book reading, book secrets that you keep, and the fact that not everybody really wants to read the classics. I know they're the classics, but I remember that was like one of my top ones for the year when I read that one because as a reader, that book spoke to me. So that one, and I'll give you one more. Let's see, cookbooks.
Cookbooks.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, not just one, but I do enjoy cookbooks, and they book is in the title, so I do count them on my Goodreads list. So I grade a cookbook on how excited I get about trying the recipes. So some of them I look and I'm like, nah, and
yeah.
I like the ones with pictures.
Which cookbook do you like?
Right now, I have one I want to try. It's a bread machine, the Ultimate Bread Machine cookbook. And it looks like it matches the bread machine I have. And I haven't used my bread machine in a couple of years. And I want to get back into doing that. So that's what I've got right now. And then there's another one. I like tea.
Yes.
So I got like a tea cookbook. And it's a different type of teas. And then the cakes and sandwiches that would go with that tea.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I was like, a tea, just a drink, but yeah, okay. The same, even the food that would go with it. Yeah, yes. Kind of like the tea shops and stuff that we've been to.
Yes,
and things. Yay, cool. And I don't even cookbooks. I have some, but I don't use them. So I use Pinterest. Pinterest is my cookbook because I can look at the pictures and look at stuff, and sometimes I'll use it, and sometimes I won't. But let's see. So I got a couple more nonfiction type books. And these are my books that are, so these are good for relationship building. So for if you're married or wanting to be married or what have you, of course, the one book that I read all the way through that I really liked was called The Love Dare. That was a really good one. I think it's a movie, maybe not. I don't know if it's a movie, but I think it was used in a movie, the firefighter movie. What
I think it was
firefighter movie. Was it?
What was that called? Kenrick Brothers or something.
What was? You guys are like yelling it at us right now. It's the fire.
I remember Courageous, but that was the police one.
No, the Courageous was the police one, which that was a good one. War Room was the War Room. What was the fire one, you guys? Oh, what was it? Oh, that's funny.
Let me see if I can look it up.
Yeah, see if you can find it. While she's looking that up to try to find the name of that movie. Fireproof.
That was it.
Fireproof.
That was it, yes.
That's the one. Yeah, I think that one had The Love Dare in it, and the Love Dare book itself was really good. I think read the book before I saw that movie. The next one is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And I like that one because if you take the quiz test, you can see I'm a huge personality test type person. I love it. I love like Myers-Briggs. Enneagram I did take just to see what that was about. I'm definitely more a Myers-Briggs person than anything, but the 5 love languages is a great kind of to see like what your love language is versus the love language of your partner, and being able to kind of speak those love languages. And I am a words of affirmation person. So if you hear me reference words of aff, that's me. That is me, that I'm a huge word person. And the next two, so one is called Love and Respect. And this one, our church does a series on it sometimes by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not entirely sure how you say that. But Dr. Emerson he talks about love and respect and the cycle of the crazy cycle versus the like giving cycle. I don't know exactly what he calls it, but that one is a great one too if you're married. And then the next one that I'm going to throw out there is called, this is for our married couples only, and this is called Sheet Music by Dr. Kevin Lehman. And I say it's for married couples only because it's about, you know, those things that married people can do that you can't do when you're not married. But it gives the Christian perspective. It talks about the things that sometimes in this kind of Christian community, we don't talk about these things that are very natural, very real, very applicable. We just don't talk about it. And so he has written a whole book on it. It's a good read for like newlyweds and things like that. It's an interesting read. If nothing else, it's like, okay, wow, I didn't know that someone could have this these conversations like this. And so that's a good one. And then this one is completely random. It's so funny. I don't mean to end on this one. Or I won't. No, because there's one more. Okay. But that is, so when I was in college, I got my degree in psychology, and I got a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. And one of the books that I got from there was the DSM-4. That back in the day, they're now the DSM-5, but I had the DSM-4 case book. And I just love reading about the different cases that went with each diagnosis. Like there was an example of the diagnosis. And I just liked reading to me there were stories, but it was interesting because it was real life and I had to do it with psychology and the mind. And so the DSM-4 case book, I'm sure there's now a DSM-5 case book, but from back in my day in school, the DSM-4 was still the running one. And then, let's see, the last couple I want to read. One of them I just want to throw out there because I have this book that's over 100 years old, and it's called The Character of Jesus. And I got it from my time in Bible college at this book trip, on a book trip. And I want it. But it's over 100 years old, and it's called The Character of Jesus. And it goes through just different aspects of God, and, you know, how we can try to reflect those same things. So that those are my kind of, I think that wraps up my nonfiction kind of section of books. And Beth, you have any more, or are we going to move on to our last kind of section?
I'm good. We can move on.
All right. She's like, look, that doesn't apply to me. Okay, so then our last one is what, fantasy fairy tale type things? Okay, yeah. So if you're into the fantasy fairy tale type, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice. We're almost over, so because it has 2 authors, just 2. So for the fairy tales, I tend to do indie authors, as in they're not the mainstream authors, because most of them, I can find them easier to do clean, so I don't have to worry about language, everything else in there. They're not necessarily Christian authors, but they're not bad to read.
Yeah.
So these two, K.M. Shea and then Melanie Sellier are my 2 top right now. I have others that I cycle through, but these 2 are my 2 that I keep going back to. K.M. I followed her for like a while. I think when she was first getting started, I think I've been there. So, and this one is my favorite of hers. This is the Snow Queen. This is actually an anthology, so it's got her entire trilogy, and well, it's actually a duology with the 3rd one, which was a short story book. In the one, I went and bought it, and then they changed the cover, so I bought it again because they changed my cover. But I did like the new cover, so I was like, okay, it's fine. But this one is based off the Snow Queen, and
like Frozen.
I like it better than Frozen.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, she doesn't have a sister, but this is like a prequel to her main fairy tale series. So this one is about Princess Raquel, and in her world, magic users are considered monsters because, you know how it is. There was a war, and then, you know, the magic users didn't win, so now everybody doesn't like magic. And this is her journey of becoming the Snow Queen, basically. Working not to be the monster that people see her as, but be a force for good. And I really enjoy this one. I will go back and reread this set ever since she's put it out, and it's on Audible. So the entire trilogy. So they released it all in one, and this one is, I think, is mainly from Raquel's point of view, but I think they do have a second narrator that comes in when the main guy lead reads. So that was an interesting one. And she's done the main series, and then she's got her after the main series, which I'm in the middle of, but I haven't finished yet. And then the second one is Melanie Sellier, and she's also got her series. This one is the first one. This one is the Four Kingdoms series, and then she's got Beyond the Four Kingdoms series, and then Return to the Four Kingdoms series. And I am waiting for her duology on one of my, which is a retelling of one of my favorite fairy tales, which is East of the Sun, West of the Moon. Mm-hmm. And so this one is The Princess Companion, which is based on The Princess and the Pea. And I loved that because every time an author starts a new fairy tale series, they would do either Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast. And I get really tired of reading Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. Not that they're bad fairy tales, but I'm like, the fact that she started with The Princess and the Pea, which is not as popular, was what caught my eye. And it's really cute. So they are just really light, fluffy reads, and they're really good. So she went through, not like she did go through, you know, she did get to Cinderella eventually, but she went through a lot of these fairy tales that aren't as mainstream, which was a lot of fun for me. And then, like I said, so the Princess Companion, just starts off the series of the Four Kingdoms, and then you get like the princesses, and then beyond the Four Kingdom is like in this book you got a set of twins, and the main character is their nanny or companion, which is why she's called the companion. And so in the second series, it starts off with the two twin princesses as their story, and that's where she grew out and Beauty and the Beast. So she did before it, though, she did do the 12 Dancing Princesses, and then after that is coming back. And I'm like, okay, here's Cinderella. So I do enjoy hers. So these two are my two favorite indie authors, and then they've got other groups. KM is awesome. She does like a con, almost she calls it Shea Con, and it's online. And basically, she and different authors will. On Discord, we'll get together and then we'll do book readings. They give away free books. I am there for the free books, and
of course.
So and then like different games and activities online. So I usually miss it because I always got something going on. But I did get to go last year to attend, and it was a lot of fun just to read the books, hear the author panels and everything.
Yeah, that would be fun. Woohoo! Okay, so did we make it through our stacks of books?
I think so.
I think we've made it through our stacks of books. Obviously, there are more we could talk about, more that we could suggest, and we might come back for a round 2 of book suggestions. We'll see. Let's get these out, though, too. Yeah, we don't want to bombard you, but, yeah. So any last book thoughts, sister?
Last book thoughts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't try and force yourself to finish a book. I find, considering the fact that I want to read a lot in a year, I don't have as much time as I used to actually read a book I'm not enjoying. And it's funny, though, because I still have that bad habit. An author put on their Facebook is like, how long does it take you to finish a book, right? I'm like, if I like the book, a couple hours, no problem. I'm like, if I don't like the book, it can be a couple hours to like 5 years. So I do have a book that's been on my currently reading list for at least about 5 years now. So
maybe you could take it off. I don't know.
I mean, it's a sequel. It took me about that long to finish the first one. So like I said, you don't have to do that. I mean, if you want, you can always go back to the book. But like I said, life is kind of short. So just read what you're enjoying. I know some people are like, just read what you don't enjoy because you can learn something from it. But I'm like, I don't have time for that.
I got time. I'm trying to get 261. Is that
65.
65, okay. 265 books done in the year. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, read what you enjoy. Oh, look, I just looked at my shelf, and Hebrew Word Study by Chaim Ben Torah. That's a good one, by the way. But yeah, read what you enjoy. Take the time to read if you can. Or listen to the Audible if you can't, listen to it in your car, things like that.
Yeah. I'm in my car a lot, so Audible is playing. I don't listen to the radio. I have Audible up, and I will re-listen. If you do, I recommend listening to the samples.
Yes.
Because if you get a bad narrator, I had a bad narrator.
That can make or break a book.
Yeah, and I almost quit a book series just because I did not like the narrator, and I hadn't read the book yet. I liked it later after I got the narrator's voice out of my head, but yeah, I listened to the samples first.
Yes, right. Listen to what are they called? What is it? Because that's what I want to do one day. I was like, I want to be the vocal actor.
The voice actor.
Voice actor person, the person reading the book. Yes, sample those first. But yeah, listen to when you can, read when you can. And I always try to tell people, or tell at least my kiddos, at school, who don't like to read, I'm like, it's just because you haven't found that book yet. Like, when you find that book that interests you, that really catches you, especially if you're in the mood and stuff, oh my goodness, then you're like, oh, I do like to read. Because what it is, you're probably reading books that just don't interest you, that you don't like. And you might think, I don't like any books. There is one out there. I'm telling you, there's one out there that will interest you. But yeah. Well, thank you, sister. Thanks for joining me. I will do an episode, where I just talk to you about your life and stuff. It doesn't have to necessarily be all book stuff, but thanks for coming and bringing your books and everything.
Sure, I enjoyed it. I don't usually like to talk, but you get me started on books. I'm not quiet. So.
Right. Yes. See, I know how to get it going. I was like, let's start with books. Books will get it rolling. But yeah, well, cool. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you go out there and find a good book. If you have any good book suggestions, feel free to throw it out there. Put it on the Instagram. Let me know your thoughts. If you get around to reading any of these books, let me know as well. And yeah, all right, we're just gonna say bye.
Bye. I can say bye. Bye.
And there you have it, you guys, the book episode conversation with my sister and me. Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. Thank you, Beth, for coming on and chatting with me or talking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed conversing with my sister about books and everything like that. So yeah, that's all I've got for you all. I hope you all have an amazing next couple of weeks. You guys, the next time you hear from me, it'll be the day after Christmas. Can you believe it? Can you believe that Christmas is in like 2 weeks? You know what? I'm ready for it. I am ready. I mean, I say that, and yet I still have some Christmas shopping to do. I'm one of those people who waits like to the last minute to buy gifts and to get everything done. But I've gotten a lot better here recently, especially with buying gifts online. I used to be one of those like the day before Christmas in the malls trying to find things, but I've gotten a lot better. So now I order more things online, and I do like to go in person and find stuff too. But anywho, I hope you all have an amazing next couple of weeks, and I hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas this season. The next few weeks, enjoy it as much as you can. Enjoy Christmas Day. I hope it's absolutely beautiful and amazing for you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.